time with us. Just give you a little brief idea. I'm a 40-year retired veteran of the Prince George's County Police Department and several other agencies that served Prince George's County. I was born and raised in Prince George's County. In 1978, when I became a patrol officer, I started in District 3, riding around Landover Mall and the areas of Glen Arden and everywhere, so I'm very familiar with this area. In the 80s, when I was in undercover narcotics, I bought drugs up on Hamlin Street, Evard Street. Thank goodness they've been torn down and are being refurbished. I would like to also acknowledge today here, as you are in one of our facilities, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, 4 individuals, a uniformed officer and 3 command personnel from the Maryland Park Police. Our motto is, because we care. The 3 speakers, I listened very intently because over the course of my 40+ years, I've had many a friend and many a law enforcement officer say, Jeff, why are you still doing this? You be long retired. That's why, listening to those stories. And Ms. Muhammad, although it was a very small role, in 2002 when I was an investigative supervisor, I worked the DC sniper case after Paul, the owner of Margelina's Pizzeria in Clinton, was shot. So I'm versed with what was occurring. And if I may piggyback off a point you made, we can help our victims. We can help every victim. What about the abusers? An abuser might lose control of that victim. What do? They look for another victim to abuse. So we have to address it very respectfully because I've worked with Denise off and on for decades. Not everyone can address the abuser, but it needs to be addressed, whether it be the courts, whether it be through psychological services, sometimes, which I like, jail, but to protect our victims and their family members. It is ever, ever so important. I won't belabor the point. We do understand the cycle of violence, and it is sad to say that national statistical averages say a victim of physical domestic abuse doesn't report it to law enforcement until approximately the 3rd or 7th time they are physically harmed. And as it was mentioned also, it's not just abuse. It's power control, and then it's physical. We need to address it. And we at the Maryland Park Police, we are addressing it. I'm the victim witness coordinator for our agency, but I'll be very candid with you. The table we have set up, because I was born and raised in Prince George's County, have served my entire adult life in law enforcement. If there is anything that we can ever do, I have cards and information, and I believe Councilwoman Ivey, your staff is going to put our information on your website. Call. If we can't handle it directly for you, I will be more than happy to facilitate the agency that would. And I say this point, and I'll finish with this. It's a bittersweet point. Over 30 years now, I've been a Maryland certified instructor for law enforcement and a former flexing instructor. And I still teach law enforcement officers how to respond and how to handle domestic abuse and domestic violence cases. It's sad that we haven't taken it to that highest plateau that we need to, but we're going to continue to try to improve. And I will always continue to do, hopefully, God willing, with health and with my wife's approval, that I can continue to do this, because without a doubt, and I'll leave you with this point, in my 40 years, why do I still do this? Because I truly am a victim's advocate, and I will always be there to serve for our victims and our community, in particular here in Prince George's County. Thank you for attending.